One of the most common questions that I get from parents who are interested in coming to our school or taking a tour is, what exactly is Montessori and how is it different than traditional education? Montessori is a specific philosophy of education created by Maria Montessori in the early 1900s. She was a doctor in Italy who first worked with children who were disabled, and her goal was to reach them. She started her first school in the slums of Italy, and she couldn't believe how much these children learned and grasped and were able to build upon what they already knew. A Montessori classroom has 5 main areas: practical life, sensorial, mathematics, language, and cultural. And cultural is a big area. It encompasses geography, history, zoology, botany, and science. The cultural area of a Montessori classroom is very important. Peace education is extremely important to Montessori. Teaching about values, respect for all cultures, respect for all religions. That's a very, very unique aspect of Montessori. In traditional education, pretty much the children are all doing the same thing at the same time, and the teacher stands in front of the room and she teaches to all the children. But Montessori is very different. Montessori is about each individual child learning at their pace, being challenged, and learning the way they need to learn. In a Montessori classroom, it's not directed where the teacher's in the center of the classroom. It's the children who make the classroom. There's mixed age groups, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and a lot of the actual materials in Montessori the children will get as a 3-year-old. They'll use it differently as a 4-year-old. They'll use it completely different as a 5-year-old. So they're growing with the materials. They're growing with their peers in the classroom. And then that 5-year-old comes to school, they know, wow, this is an important year, their kindergarten year. They're the leaders. They're the role models. And they take that very seriously. And the goal of Montessori is love of learning, independent learners, independent thinkers, having them think out of the box, ask questions, how to find that answer. You master the process. You master the foundation. That's what we hope to get here. The teacher's job is to make them want to do math. How can I entice this child to do math? One of the things that I loved about being a teacher was that every day was different. It wasn't a set curriculum where I knew exactly what I was going to teach the same children every day. I may have had a lesson plan for a child one day that was a reading lesson, but we put a science experiment out, and they were just so, enthralled in the science experiment. Well, you know what? I'm going to follow that desire, because you don't want to lose that love of learning. And that's why Montessori is very unique, and Montessori teachers are very unique, because they have to be able to shift things at the drop of a hat to say, I'm following the child, or you know what, this child is struggling with this, so how can I present this differently? How can I reach that child? Children at a young age need to move. So whatever at that young age they need to do, they have the freedom to move their bodies. If they need to get up, they can get up. They don't have to ask permission. They want to go get a drink of water. They go get a drink of water, then they come back to their work. I stress to the teachers all the time, there should be time once a week where all you're doing is observing and making notes of the children. What do they like? What don't they like? They never go to that area. I wonder why. If you don't observe that child working in that area, you're not going to learn about that child. And then you say, okay, how do I get that child in that area? What can I do to entice them? Why are they going in that area? And then that's how you go on to plan for them. You can't plan for a child unless you know what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, what do they love, what don't they care for, and then you plan for them. And it's all packaged. All that comes together in the classroom. Any type of new environment is always going to be an adjustment. A bus, a new school, a new teacher. But our children adjust pretty well. They're very confident. They love learning. They're very independent. They're not afraid to ask questions. So they're going on to another chapter in their life, but they have all these great skills that they will have for life. All Montessori schools are not alike. It's not a franchise. Every Montessori school runs differently. It's important for a parent to know that the school is a true Montessori, and what I mean by that is that they are affiliated with American Montessori Society. They have Montessori certified teachers. We are very family oriented here. We have an open door policy. We want parents to be very much part of their child's education. This is their second home, so they need to come here and feel warm and loved. What I always tell parents to do is to go visit schools. When you walk in the door, when you speak to the director, when you see the teachers, you'll know, is this a good fit for me? Do I feel that sense of warmth here? And that's when you really know which school is for you. I encourage you to come visit Raritan Valley Montessori to see what we have to offer, because I do think we're unique.